Oh, hey, before we start, I'm offended by something, and I would like to get it canceled. So, like, who do I call for that? Or is that, can I just, like, get something canceled? Can you do that for me? Yeah, I'm actually, like, really offended at people that spend money on stupid stuff. And so I want that to stop. So do we just, like, tweet that out and then it's gone, or? Oh, just like I saw a muffler on a Subaru Outback, like a custom muffler, and I just thought, let's just cancel that. How do I text somebody? Or I gotta ask Biden probably, right? We're just asking. Yeah, let's make that top priority. Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. How are we doing today? Welcome. This is a quick stock market update show. We'll do a rundown of the day's activities and everything, and hopefully teach you something along the way. If you look off to the right-hand side of your page, you can actually see how the markets performed today. Bit of a snoozer, not a whole lot going on, but there's a lot to talk about there, and so we're going to do that. Also, if you are not one of our clients and you want to join our research site. We have a good research site where we post different topics, things to try to teach you how the markets are working, maybe some interesting things about stocks that are moving there. Yesterday, actually, we did where stimulus money is likely to be spent, and today we put up there the odds of the stock market actually finishing higher at for the rest of the year. How did we come to that? And you can kind of see what everybody's kind of thinking at the moment. It's $13 a month if you want to join. Also, we do a wine and wealth class for our clients there. Last week we did how to start a position with a profit instead of just buying a stock. How do you start with a profit when you own the stock? So we went over that. That was a bit geeky there. And this week we'll probably do a little bit of Q&A. We're going to go over the stimulus. Not that everybody and their mother hasn't gone over that, but we'll go over some tricks there to make sure that if you weren't supposed to get the stimulus, you can get the stimulus. And if you want it, how you can actually still kind of get it. So we'll give you all those little inside tricks there. And then I've got some questions, actually, a lot of people have asked, so we'll talk about that. And at the end of the show today, we'll do the winners of the coffee cup. We got 3 winners for the coffee cup Cody has chosen that we will be giving out, and looking for your address so we can send that to you. So we will skip all that for now. Let's dive into the stock market here today. I'll start with the NASDAQ. Let's start with the NASDAQ there. Positive on the day, about just over 0.5%, as you saw on the prior slide there. It's now back to positive by about 2% year to date. So right about here is the flat line if you're just kind of watching a chart just to see where is it positive or negative for the year. But we're up 2% year to date. And today, if you're looking around the NASDAQ, the big tech stocks tried to get things going for us. You got Apple with up about a 1.25% on the day. Microsoft a little bit higher, although messy. This is choppy in here. It's a tough stock right now. 1.25%. Facebook a little higher as well. Seems that it's trying to wake up, but we've been fooled before by Facebook. Just, look at the sideways nothingness going on there. Those were your biggest contributors on the day. Moderna is going to be your biggest gainer on the day. We'll talk about that later. That adds 8%, almost 9% on as far as today goes, which is a little bit different because as the news comes out, the stock's been selling off on the day of the news. So today's a little bit different. We'll cover the news on that in a little bit. Also, I want to point out semiconductors. You could use the SMH to look at the industry as a whole. It's up 1% on the day. But some of the stocks that are stronger and had looked good today, I thought were AMAP, 3% higher on the day. Micron almost getting to new 52-week highs, then selling off a little bit, actually. And Lam Research. Been volatile lately, but nice tight uptrend, or somewhat tight of an uptrend there, and very quick mover overall. If we look at the Russell, that was your biggest loser today, but it doesn't really matter, right? It's the biggest gainer in total for the year. So it's the best performing index, and something interesting I'm pointing out to you, hopefully I can show it real quick, right here. Here is the just sort of the average monthly volatility of each index. And so I'm always talking about you want performance, but you want performance with the least amount of volatility, wherever you're at. So if you think about it, if you're 30 years old, you want the greatest performance. You don't mind a little volatility, but you don't want to be, signing up for more than you need. If you're 55, you want the best performance you can get, probably a little bit less, but you also want to know that you're not going to be riding a Bronco for your investments there. It's going to be nice and sort of relaxed. Well, anyways, if we go over to the volatility of the 4 major indices here, you can see that the Russell 2000, which is going to be in the light blue here in the background there, and the NASDAQ in the orange there, are the 2 most volatile indices. so far. But the Russell 2000 sits in here just about as volatile, if not less volatile than the NASDAQ. And at the moment, you're getting much better returns, like double-digit better returns. So that has been the case for a while, where the Russell 2000 is not only the better performer, but it's also giving you less of a daily headache of that back and forth volatility there. So something I wanted to point out there, just kind of different than what we normally talk about. The S&P, we'll call it flat on the day, sitting at highs there. I don't really have anything exciting to say about the index, but if we go into our sector breakdown for the day, actually, I'll take you through kind of some of the things that are going on here. A little bit of a spread in how the sectors of the S&P were moving around today. Start with communication services. This was your leader on the day. If you look at communication services, I'll go to the 6-month chart, sitting at new 52-week highs, no problem there. The biggest contributors for the day were actually sort of normal, but I want to show you something else here. If you're looking for these overbought extended plays, using our little tool here in the research site, just look at the 1 month. What are the biggest gainers over the last month? They're going to be up here. They're all going to be the broadcasters, right? So you're going to have Viacom, Discovery in here. There's 2 classes of shares of that one. You've got Fox. There's 2 classes of shares. Look, you can see them down here as well. Dish Networks. All of these are massive, massive gainers. And so these, for the contrarians out there, these may actually grab your attention. Viacom and Discovery grab my attention. We'll cover that later in our office trades, tell you what I'm doing there. But yeah, just thought that was kind of interesting to point out. It's one of those areas where now, not the sector, I mean, the sector is doing well, but there's some individual areas that are just killing it, maybe getting a little bit too far. All right, if we go down to energy, that's your worst performer here today. First real sign of a pullback, right? Let's go inside of energy and take a look. This is something I know a lot of you are waiting for. You got a nice sort of explosive move really since, and I don't mean to be political here, but since we changed presidents, the price of gas is up, what, 50%, if not more, depending on where you're at. And you got the price of oil moving higher. And so whether you agree or disagree with it, I don't really care, but we finally have a break in that. And so you may be thinking, oh, this is awesome. Maybe my gas prices go down a little bit. Not so fast. It doesn't work like that. But your opportunity to potentially invest in energy, hey, here you go. Maybe some pullbacks you might be interested in there. It's a tough day, I will say, to try to get a list together of anything you're interested in. You had National Oil Wells, the biggest one, biggest decliner on the day. So some of these are a little bit tough. You look at Marathon, it's just starting to pull back. Got to have a little patience there. I think Halliburton's the same thing. Devon Energy, all of these that are pulling back inside the space. You could go through the list. If you're in our research site there. Occidental Petroleum, same thing. They're all just starting to pull back. Schlumberger, you can see it. It's good. We're excited about this, but I don't know that it's quite time to just get going there yet. But that's one of the sectors that stood out. And not a sector here, but I do want to point out the retail industry. So XRT is the ticker symbol we'll use today. This is the GameStop move in here. And I got a question on this one. Someone was saying, should I buy the XRT? Because I see what GameStop's doing. I see the excitement there, and I assume that that's going to continue. That's what they said. The problem with this is the way the ETF rebalances. And I thought about doing a separate video just for this. But you want to know how, if you're going to own an ETF that's holding volatile positions, you want the ETF to rebalance as frequent as possible. Well, the XRT, they rebalance basically once a quarter. So it's the first Thursday after the quarter ends. And so because of that, they didn't really participate in the gains, realized gains of having GameStop. So GameStop shot up. It was like 11% of the holdings in the XRT. Well, that was temporary. It was not during the window where they rebalanced. In fact, they haven't rebalanced this year at all. So now GameStop pulls back, so is the XRT. If they would have rebalanced monthly, it's actually kind of an interesting study. If they would rebalance monthly instead of quarterly, the XRT ETF would be up a whole lot more at this point because think about it, they had 11% of something they wanted to be at 2.5%. So that means they would have to sell a ton of GameStop in order to get back to 2.5%, which means that would have been huge profits. So the fact that they rebalance, and this was the answer I gave to our customer, was the fact that they rebalance quarterly means that the performance is not as good as something that a retail ETF that maybe rebalances more frequently. And so that was the consideration there. If you find that and oil is a good example of this. Occasionally oil gets volatile. You want the shortest term rebalancing in the ETF as possible. Don't choose one that rebalances quarterly, although a lot of them do. And that way, if you have volatility, when you get these spikes, it could be during a time where they're rebalancing. Whereas if it's over the course of 3 months and you see this massive spike, look what we just did on the 1st of March. We talked about how energy was up 25% in 2 months. That's not a quarter yet, right? So it was up 25% in 2 months. What was the forward performance after a 2-month gain of 25% or more? It was down. So if you rebalanced every month, you're locking in. Then when it starts to pull back, okay, no problem. We locked in some gains. So that's kind of the lesson of the day there, is that the XRTs can be a little bit tricky, and it's purely because of how they rebalance. All right, let's go to the new highs and lows for the day. Yeah, 33 of them on the list. I thought there were some really good ones in here as far as technical patterns and being just different industries. Sometimes you see there's all new highs and they're all financials or they're all tech stocks. And so today was nicely spread out. We'll start with a home builder, Pulte Homes here. Been going sideways for a while, a little bit of a snoozer, and then all of a sudden hits new highs just to grab your attention. It could be that this is the start of the breakout that gets you out of this many, many months of boring movement there. I put Starbucks on the list because, you know, I told you the trade that I did on this one, just a simple trade to play momentum there, and I already got out of it. It was fine. It was just about a 50% profit on the trade, but look at it today. Little booger. It's up another 2%, so clearly I got out too soon there. But new highs, that momentum continuing, it looks like, on Starbucks. Whirlpool, I thought was kind of the same there as we talked about on Pulte, just a different industry. We can get rid of this guy here. Moving sideways, it's been trying to move outside of that range. The volume was really good last time. It got whacked. What's everybody going to look at this time? We break outside of the range. If it doesn't get whacked, people won't be scared. They'll come back to this. You'll start seeing a little bit more support. If it does get whacked like it did last time, there's no trade. Right? So it's a matter of you just sitting back and waiting, but maybe that can go on a watch list. I thought Franklin Templeton. I always say Ben Franklin Resources. That's not the company. Franklin Resources is a different company. Franklin Templeton is like what we do, just a tiny bit bigger than us. And so this one I thought had a nice move to new highs, maybe starting to pull back. I like this as a pullback play instead of saying, okay, here's something that we chase. But the fact that it made new highs maybe puts it on a watch list there, so we'll see. And same thing for Expeditors, right? So this just moved out of a range. It proved itself. It got going. Volume stayed consistent. And now maybe there's just a little bit of a pullback into that 97, 98 area that gets everybody excited to buy that missed the original break to new highs. And so those are your new highs and lows. There's no new lows, actually, for the day. It's been some time since we've had new lows, so nothing to focus on there. All right, let's go over to some of the news for the day. Stocks in the news. Oh, I did that last time. Alibaba, down 1.5% on the day there. China, President Xi out of companies that amassed data and market power. They want to talk to them, right? So they were talking about Alibaba, really, in this case. So that stock's down on the day and has been down under a little bit of a pressure lately. There you go. GNOG, Golden Nugget. So actually, it pulled back on the day there. They got their sports betting license awarded in Virginia, is where that's at. So that was the news of the day. It's already been up off the lows here, so it looked like a little profit taking going into that. JP Morgan says, you know, we're not too sure about coming back into our New York and I think London offices here. We don't know if we want to do that. We're going to start by just bringing back the interns and see how they do. I thought that was funny. They're like, we don't want to bring in the heavy hitters in case things go wrong. Let's bring back the interns, so if they all get sick, it doesn't matter. Well, that's basically what happened there with JP Morgan. So they were in the news today. Moderna gets started its vaccine trials in young kids, I think under 18 or under 16 or something like that. So that's the reason the stock was higher on the day, which, like I said earlier, kind of weird that got this response to a news event. The last 6 news events in a row, stock was down on that news. So maybe the selling is drying up there a little bit. Go over a couple others here. National Oil Well, NOV is the ticker symbol there, lowered their guidance going forward. They said the weather in Texas and Oklahoma is going to hurt them. That was your biggest loser in the S&P 500 today. Now, I'll let the stream catch up here. I'll show you our office trades off to the side. While stream's catching up, you've got FinTech Acquisition Company, FTCV is the ticker symbol. You won't find anything that's exciting here just yet. It's higher today because of the news. But this will start to come to life here soon. eToro is going to be acquired by them to do a reverse merger or a SPAC to go public. They're the brokerage account firm that's kind of like Robinhood. And so maybe that's a competitor there. Also, you've got a ton of companies selling shares. Nikola is going to be selling shares, I think, $150 million or something. $100 million is what the estimate is there. Nothing officially reported yet, but they're going to be selling shares to raise money. $100 million? Yikes. You know what? IMAX is doing the same exact thing. Potbelly, PBPB, is the ticker symbol. They're doing the exact same thing. Ruby, we just talked about this yesterday. They had the good drug news yesterday, up like 50% in a day. They're going to sell $150 million worth of shares overnight, just like that. They're like, stock's up, we should raise some money. Smart. And then you have Sun Country, SNCY is going to be, the ticker symbol there. They're going to go public. Sun Country Airlines. I didn't actually know they were still around. They were used to be big here in St. Pete, in the St. Pete airport area. Allegiant pretty much kicked them out. They were kind of cruddy. It was kind of a cruddy airline. I don't know much about them, but they're going to go public, and I believe that comes out Thursday, about $21 a share. I really know nothing else about them. 9 million shares between 21 and 23, and so if you're looking at airline stocks or you like airline stocks, there you go. So what do we have here? Office trades today. I saw somebody shorted Crown Country. I'm sorry, Crown Castle. Who was that? That was Cody. So Cody's betting on what? I saw it come up. I got the alert, and I immediately went long. You know why? It's because it's a free trade. So if you don't know, in a portfolio margin account, I've done a video on this in the past, when you take one side of the trade, you're only so I'll go like here. When you take, and we'll make this the last thing. You saw the other trades. So in a portfolio margin account, your risk is, or your margin is based on risk. And so when Cody took the trade to short Crown Castle, his risk is higher than going long. And the idea there is that Crown Castle can go up forever, right? We can't quantify that risk so much, but it can only drop to zero. So if you were to go short on a stock in a portfolio margin account, you would have to cover the margin on that side of the trade. Well, when I saw the alert come through, I realized that, okay, he put on a short. I'll just go ahead and try a long. I'll play on the long side here, and because of that, my trade is free, so it doesn't tie up any of my capital. I currently have my capital committed to other trades that are not going so well. So I thought, here's a free trade that I can put on to keep my ball moving and keep going, where Cody's essentially, I'm piggybacking on his margin is the way that works there. So that's why I did that trade. Did you know that?
No, that was his guess, though.
That was your guess?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a good guess.
He did it because it's free trade.
Yeah, I saw it pop up and my little thing went off, the position sold, and like in 2 minutes I took the other side. We weren't in the office together, so I was wondering if he would have noticed I went on the other side there. But that's what we got going on there. I'll just, point out, I like to just point out, losers too. And Viacom is coming back for me a little bit today. It was down a little bit more, I think, and I'm hoping that is the top there. But now I've got this problem of Discovery. I am definitely in the money on Discovery. So maybe some defense needing to be played there. We'll find out. I've got plenty of time on that one, but Viacom, come on, baby. Come on down for me. Let's do it. And then we're just testing this out, sharing some office trades with you. We'll test it out tomorrow, looking at the comments to see, do you like us talking about these, sharing the lessons and stuff like that? If so, we'll continue. If not, we'll go back to our regularly scheduled program. Andrew says, Sun Country is a terrible airline. That's what I remember, but I didn't. I tried to look it up and I got distracted, but I didn't want to be that guy, that said that if they somehow got their act together. Allegiant used to be pretty tough too, and then they just, tough through it. Some people say they're still tough. I get it. I haven't flown on them, but they at least have newer planes. Oh, yeah. Who won the coffee cups? Let's take a look here. So Cody picked the winners here. I'm going to go over to this page here. First winner is Russ Kuhn. Russ Kuhn, it's a little bit of a thinker and a bit of a reader here, but Cody got a kick out of that one there and enjoyed the story going through what it is. So I'll save that there. You can screenshot it if you want to read it, or pause it or whatever. But I'm not going to read it to you and have story time with you. So Russ Kuhn, you're the first winner there. Second winner was actually Josh A., who this was a bit of a, kind of touched us here. Went back to the oldest video, which I know what the oldest video is. And so he said, look at that. I went back to the oldest video, left a comment. I've been wanting this mug for 4 years. It has been 4 years. And Josh, I thought that was cool for that one there. So it wasn't really a joke, but it was. I thought that was pretty cool. And Paul is our third winner, saying Dustin is selling coffee cups. That's better than him using them to beg for money at traffic lights. And I put a picture in my head of that actually happening, because as much as it costs to ship these stupid things, I could just see me standing at a traffic light asking for $5 so I could ship a coffee cup. So congratulations. We're going to reach out to the three of you, and we will be sending you the coffee cups. And apparently we're going to try to sell the rest of them. I think, honestly, we should just come up with like clever experiments of like, if we drop it from the top of the building in some hat or something, will it break? Or if I just randomly throw them at Cody, see if he can catch them or something. Because I don't know, I've lost interest in selling the cups. But if you want one, I think we're still going to put them up there. And I'm thinking about doing something unique where it makes it a little more worth it. We have a bunch of antique original stock certificates from like Erie Railroad Company, Pennsylvania Railroad's in there, Pan Am Airlines is in there. We've got a whole lot of different ones. So we thought maybe we could just kind of wrap the coffee cup in an old stock certificate, and that would make it more interesting, because I don't know. This coffee cup thing it's like, we're never, ever doing that again. You live and you learn, right? You live and you learn. How do you think the Fed or markets will react to the Fed tomorrow? I don't see a lot changing there. Everybody's going to be looking at the language, not the decision. So it's flip-flop the way it normally is. I don't think you see a lot there. Inflation will obviously be a big sort of conversation piece, but I don't think they're going to change their tune at all to what they've been saying. Yep. I love it. We'll see what happens. And in puppy news, yeah, he's getting better. He's getting better. My wife is actually babysitting her sister's dog, so the two of them are playing, and so he's getting to burn a little bit more energy there, but he's still a puppy that likes to play. Yep, I love it. Send it via drone. Yeah, we should get a drone. That's probably cheaper than just putting it in the mail. A drone. Sell the cups for $13.99 shipped. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like, for what? Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's worthwhile. Like, if you're going to sell something and take the time to pack it and all. We have boxes here. We got the wrap and stuff. I mean, we're not going to make any money on these cups, but yeah, we'll see. Yep. Oh, we should sell a digital coffee cup. That's my favorite one. That's a good comment. I like that. Give that person a coffee cup. Come on. I feel better giving them away. Somehow they got to prove it's them, but that was a good one. Hey, send us your email. We'll send you a digital coffee cup. How about that? Yep. Oh, so Newmont, yeah. The question is, what do you think about Newmont breaking out with gold? So we covered this the other day, the idea that could this be coming out of a downtrend? It's not there yet. So I'm not saying that's a breakout in any way. Still got a downtrend that's very much in. What you could look for is the higher low to take your shot. Obviously, we have some time until that happens. Or if it does break out of this downtrend, you just wait for the pullback. This could be one we could talk about each day. I mean, I'd be willing to look at this one with you. So let's see what happens from here if it pulls back a little bit. We want a lighter volume pullback, which just shows us there's just people taking profits that traded it in the short term. And we'll see what happens from there. I like that. I like it. Put the dough cart to use and just deliver them ourselves. I like that too. Hey, stop at a Tesla charging station, man. Yeah. Nifty jazz cups. That's right. I like it. We were talking about the VIX today, actually. We were talking about how that works. Why was the VIX lower essentially the market didn't do anything, but the VIX actually being slightly lower and continuing to roll off the deep end there, because if you're following the VIX futures, these are new lows. even after rolls and everything. So, yeah. Does it make you want to buy it, Tandra? Because I know technically that would be a short for you. I know you like to be short. I wonder if that means you would buy the VIX. Yeah. Wants a coffee cup because the baby was born yesterday. That's worth a coffee cup right there. These guys, they haven't had a baby yet. Charlie's got a baby on the way, so we got to save a coffee cup for him. But yeah, I like it. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there and get back to work because that's what we do here. I appreciate you guys watching. And what I'm working on, I'll just bring it up tomorrow, but I'm trying to post a video. I did the tile update, but I'm posting it to my personal YouTube channel so we can keep this investment and finance related. So if you look up Dustin Tibbetts on YouTube, it should be up in a little bit. I'll just see let me see if I can just go now. If you want to watch, I think it's up now, actually. So you don't have to, you can subscribe if you want or whatever. I'm not trying to like make a big deal out of it. I just put it over there because it keeps it on topic here. And it says it's up. So there you go. Have a good time. If you're curious what's going on at the house and the pain that I'm going through. If not, no big deal. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks for watching.